As one of the side quests in Spider-Man 2, Peter lends a hand to Yuri Watanabe, aka Wraith, as she delves into a cult who worships fire. This quest is optional. You have the choice to complete it, gaining insight into the narrative thread for the announced third game. Throughout this mission, you cross paths with a strange guy referred to as the Flame, whose true identity is Cletus Kasady. In the course of the mission, you witness the fervent devotion of these vagabond-like cultists toward an enigmatic cause. As the storyline reaches its zenith, you endeavor to thwart the cultists' attempt to derail a train. Initially, their intentions remain shrouded in mystery, but unfolding events reveal Spider-Man's perilous confrontation, narrowly avoiding incineration while preventing the impending explosion. It gradually transpires that Cletus interrupted the train to pilfer a capsule housing a symbiote, substance earmarked for his transformation into Carnage. Upon obtaining the substance, it undergoes a noticeable color shift to red, serving as a blatant prelude to the emergence of the next supervillain in the series. In a critical twist, Wraith prioritizes saving Peter from an imminent fiery demise over an immediate pursuit of Cletus, granting the villain an opportunity to elude capture. Subsequently, Yuri mentions her intent to retrace the cultists' steps, acknowledging that the process may span years. This subtle indication suggests the potential future appearance of Carnage. Insomniac's portrayal of Venom has been nothing short of brilliant. It's refreshing to witness a genuinely villainous Venom, a departure from the more anti-heroic as in Tom Hardy's interpretation. Now, envision the potential for Carnage in this narrative. Ideally, an M-rated version of Spider-Man 3 would be fitting to capture the necessary brutality integral to his character. The depiction of Cletus in the game orchestrating a perilous attempt to burn Spider-Man alive has set the stage for a compelling continuation. With the Red Symbiote still in play, it's a tantalizing prospect to anticipate Carnage's emergence in the third chapter. Kasady's fervent fanaticism, punctuated by references to various prophecies, adds an intriguing layer to his character. In the upcoming third part, it's conceivable that Carnage will continue Venom's mission, albeit with a darker and more potent twist. The Red Symbiote, having already proven its destructive capabilities, is likely to evolve into an even more formidable force. This promises a thrilling and intense narrative as Carnage takes center stage, pushing the boundaries of the game's tone and delivering a truly visceral experience for players. A compelling direction for Carnage in the third game could be his transformation into a prophet for the symbiote god known as Null. This twist adds a layer of cosmic mystique to his character, aligning him with a higher power. Carnage's appearance is anticipated to be the crowning glory of the game, promising a narrative rich in maniacal cruelty, cold-bloodedness, and genuine terror. In the second Venom movie, the portrayal of Carnage diverged significantly from what it was supposed to be. They depicted him as a sort of lovesick Romeo, willing to do anything for his beloved. Despite Woody Harrelson's brilliant performance, the issue lies in the plot itself. It seems the writers failed to grasp the essence of Carnage. In the Marvel Universe, Carnage is the embodiment of absolute chaos and madness. In all stories, he exhibits extreme cruelty and ruthlessness. He shouldn't merely be a character in love, he is the embodiment of terror. His bloodthirsty actions have no justification, and his goal is not to express love, but to bring about chaos and fear. He is the kind of villain that not even Venom can control. Insomniac appears to be the torchbearer for capturing Carnage as he truly should be. Unhinged, sinister, and fearsome. The suggestion to continue Carnage and Wrath storylines as DLC has been circulating, but some argue against it. Being such an iconic villain merits the spotlight in a complete installment rather than being confined to downloadable content. While characters like Chameleon might work well as DLC additions, the Red Symbiote's significance and impact on the Spider-Man universe demand a more extensive exploration within the main storyline. Insomniac's creative director Brian Intihar teased that the third part is set to be a kind of endgame for the gaming franchise. And to conclude the epic trilogy, Carnage and Null would have been titans in the story. The plot between Cletus and Spider-Man runs deep. With Kasady having already posed a significant threat in the previous game, the personal vendetta adds emotional weight to the conflict. Peter must not only save the city, but also confront the consequences of his past encounters with Cletus. Carnage allows for the exploration of the symbiote's evolution. The infusion of Null's essence provides an opportunity to showcase the symbiote's newfound powers, pushing Spider-Man to his limits and forcing players to adapt to a more formidable foe. Carnage's unpredictable and chaotic nature opens the door to a compelling narrative. The game can delve into his psychological aspects, exploring the toll such a relentless, malevolent force takes on the hero's psyche as he battles an enemy who revels in anarchy. A compelling storyline that could be adapted for Carnage-centric missions is Absolute Carnage. Cletus's goal to awaken dormant symbiotes and create an army can serve as the central plot. Peter, along with Miles and Silk, may be targeted by Carnage as he attempts to assimilate them into his and Null's grand plan. Also adapting the Red Goblin storyline could also be a fascinating choice for a Spider-Man 3, offering a unique twist. Having acquired the Carnage symbiote, Norman Osborn undergoes a nightmarish transformation, becoming the Red Goblin, a hybrid entity of cunning intelligence and malevolent chaos. The narrative takes a dark turn as Spider-Man faces not only the physical threat posed by the Red Goblin, but also the psychological torment of battling an enemy with whom he shares a complicated history. Osborn, driven by an act of personal revenge, seeks to unleash unprecedented chaos upon the city, all while reveling in the symbiote's unpredictable and sadistic nature. In the plot of Spider-Man 3, the main antagonist will be the Green Goblin, and what if Insomniac turns him into the Red Goblin by the very end of the game? The symbiote's reaction to the G-Serum enhancements not only removed its usual weakness to fire, but actually weaponized it. Red Goblin developed a powerful pyrokinetic ability that allowed the symbiote to generate flames. However, he could also create incredibly destructive Carnage bombs. These weapons featured Carnage's grinning face and burned hot with flames before they exploded on impact. Red Goblin could also generate a fiery glider that produced intense flames. This pyrokinetic ability was unique to Red Goblin due to the G-Serum enhancement. But also during the Absolute Carnage event, Norman Osborn found himself once again bonded to a formidable symbiote. In this iteration, Carnage utilized Grendel to spawn new possessive symbiotes, forming an army of loyal soldiers. Osborn became one with the newly created symbiote, but due to Kasady's lingering influence, the resulting suit bore a striking resemblance to the classic Carnage appearance. Osborn became one with the newly created symbiote, but due to Kasady's lingering influence, the resulting suit bore a striking resemblance to the classic Carnage appearance. Unlike the Red Goblin, this version of Carnage lacked the heightened pyrokinetic abilities. Furthermore, it was under the control of Dark Carnage, compelling Osborn Kasady to carry out the commands of the null-possessed villain. Eventually, Carnage separated from its host body, allowing Norman Osborn to break free with his mind fully restored. The Red Goblin's unique abilities, stemming from the fusion of the Oscorp technology and the powers of an alien symbiote, could introduce innovative gameplay mechanics. Players may need to adapt their strategies to counter their unpredictable attacks and enhanced powers, and delving into the psychological toll on both Spider-Man and Carnage can add depth to the plot. Peter and Miles grapple with the responsibility of stopping Carnage, while Cletus Kasady's madness and Noel's influence create a complex internal struggle for all characters. As you may have noticed, there are plenty of plots available for adapting Carnage in Spider-Man 3. Insomniac doesn't necessarily have to choose a specific script. They can simply draw inspiration from various storylines. Their version of Cletus Kasady already differs significantly from comic book versions, so I'm very curious to see how Carnage will turn out. Insomniac has already showcased their ability to create captivating narratives in their previous games. It will be interesting to see how they approach the personalization and development of Carnage in their interpretation. Such creative approaches to characters can bring a fresh perspective and offer a unique experience for players. Subscribe.